Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and today we're going to go over a question that we've actually answered a few times before in our other videos, but it seems like people aren't fully understanding, so I'm going to phrase it a different way. So the first question is, when can you stop wearing your retainers? Whether it's a patient or it's a patient asking, or you're a doctor asking about a patient. And the other question is, how many retainer checks should you offer in your office for free? So let's answer the first question first and then the second one. So when can you stop wearing your retainers? Well, anytime a patient asks me that, and they shouldn't be asking that because it should be like in all the debonding material in the handouts I give them. I'm going to talk about this every time I see them in office, even during their braces tightening or during their aligner check-in. They should know that retainers are for a lifetime. Everyone in your office should be saying retainers are for a lifetime. Your front desk should know retainers are for a lifetime. So if someone asks me that, I'm going to give them a really strange look. I'm going to say, well, how long do you want your teeth straight for? And if they say, oh, only until I'm 25, I'll say, well, stop wearing them when you're 25. They can go crooked again. You can come back and get treatment again. So yeah, you have to wear retainers for a lifetime. And I have a lot of content about how you know when you can wear your retainers less, how you can phase it down. It is unique for every single patient, and there's no way that you can have a standard answer in your office. So there's certain things you need to look for. Certain things a patient needs to understand. So definitely look through all my retainer content. This is also, I believe, covered in my straightwear course. In a lot of my courses, we cover it as well. So, and if you don't understand, this is something we can cover in one of our sessions if you want to work one-on-one together. I also have something called a retainer menu. You can go to my document store and purchase that, or we often give away documents in our webinars and in our contests. If you're even a client of any sort, we will give you a copy of the document, whether you're doing a one session or a membership. Just let us know what documents you need. All right, so that covers that. And of course, a lot of that's going to depend on what type of retainer you have and what type of retainer you chose for the case. Again, this is covered in our retainer menu. The other question is, how many retainer visits should you offer? I don't like to put a cap on the number of visits. I usually loosely say in the paperwork that the patient signs at the end that retainer checks are covered for a year as needed, My normal cadence or frequency is going to be 1 month after debonding, just to make sure that they're fitting and they're still wearing, then 3 months, then 3 months, then 3 months, which basically is for 4 meetings, but we can do more than that. You do want to make sure you're taking a full set of final records with the retainers out and a set of records with the retainers in slightly open so that you can document the retainers actually fit. This is super important because you don't know how many times a patient's going to come back after 2 years with relapse saying, well, the mom's like, the retainers never fit. And unless you have proof that the retainers fit, guess who's redoing the treatment and making new retainers for free? Yes, that would be you, because you will lose if there's ever a complaint. So make sure you have photos with the retainers in showing that there's a perfect outcome. And then there's nothing that they can say. If they are failing to show up for their retainer checks, you need to call the patient. It's not okay if they don't show up for their 4-week check. You need to document that you called the patient. Hey, you missed your check. If they complain that they have relapse 1, 2, 3, 4 years down the road and they didn't show up for the retainer visits, but you didn't follow up on the retainer visits and document that you tried to get them in, you called them, you sent them a letter, retainer visits are really important, then guess who's redoing the treatment for free? That would be you. So these are all important things that you need to do. After that 1 year, we normally do free consults for, if patients want to see about getting new retainers, we're not usually going to charge for that. Are we going to make new retainers for free? Heck no, because we're going to have done all of our due diligence to make sure we have the photos and the documentation and they are coming in for their appointments, And the nice thing about Essex retainers is if there's a tiny bit of relapse, they forgot to wear them for a few days, they put them back on and, it'll move back as long as it was mild and we caught it early. And that's part of the reason why I strongly recommend that they have more than one set of Essex retainers up front, because if something happens and if they lose it, they should have a backup pair in their drawer or in grandma's house or in their safety deposit box. That's why I recommend it. No, we do not give 4 sets of retainers for free. We give 1 set. If they want to upgrade to the Vivera, they can upgrade at that time. We do not get a profit from that. We just charge them the $300 and then they get 4 sets and they can sprinkle them all over the house, give them to grandma, put them in the safety deposit box. And that way, if they lose them, boom, it's on them, Of course, I strongly recommend that you store a digital file of the STL, the final scan. Yes, you should definitely be taking a final scan. And I have a lot of content on that in the cloud. There's places you can store that. And if you don't have cloud storage for those files, they're pretty big, but there are places you can store it. Invisalign's only going to hold it for, I believe, 5 years, maybe 7. So that way, if somehow they didn't already have 4 sets, they only had 1 set, and if they lost it, boom, you just click a button and it'll at least get mailed within a week. It's better than nothing. And they don't have to come back to the office, assuming that nothing has moved. So these are all suggestions on what you can do. You need to make sure you have your protocol, have your policies in writing. I do have some forms, which are some suggestions. These are all available if you are any of our memberships. If you do our concierge membership, our VIP membership, we give you unlimited forms. If you do a 1 session a la carte, we give you 3 forms. We often give away forms in our various webinars. And you could also purchase forms from our document store at $20 each if you need forms. But we have a lot of that stuff we can sell you or give you depending on the circumstance. Hopefully that was helpful. Thanks.